Could you elaborate on what partnering in the KWS Cover Plus program means for your operation and opportunities for farmers growing KWS hybrid rye to sell their grain?
So we mentioned historically the distilling and flour milling, and there was always a segment of the market that was cover crop, and it's U.S. farmers primarily that are planting a crop in the fall after they harvest their cash crop, their soybeans, their corn, and then they'll plant something like fall rye after that. So that grows in the fall, gets some green material in the ground, and then especially in the central U.S. where the ground never really freezes, that cover crop stays there. It grows in the spring. It keeps the weeds from growing and keeps the dirt from blowing and water erosion and all these things. There's a real beneficial aspect to that cover crop. That market has been really growing over the last number of years as more and more farmers adopt that. It's got a real good sustainability background. So there's companies that are giving incentives to farmers to adopt these practices that are more environmentally friendly, like cover crops. And so it's been a market that's been really growing. And one of the things that up until this point here, until recently, with hybrid seed, there's a big investment that goes into these genetics that these seed companies like KWS make. And they have to make sure that they're protecting their intellectual property. And so initially, from the time that the hybrid rye came to Canada back in 2014, growers had signed an agreement, just like they would with soybeans or corn or canola, where they're not allowed to harvest that grain and use it for seed again. Very standard in the seed industry. And as this cover crop market has grown over the last few years, or a number of years, I guess, we've been having a bit of a segregation where the hybrid rye was still the number one choice for the milling and distilling and even a feed market, but was not eligible to be able to be sold into this cover crop market. So there was this growing market where, as growers, we weren't able to tap into. The KWS Cover Plus market opportunity that they've provided for us now kind of knocks down that wall there and allows us to participate in this cover crop market, which is a big step forward for all hybrid rye growers. It's not going to change anything drastically as far as how they're growing the crop or what they're doing with it, other than it just opens up the market a little bit more for grain production.